hit enter, and that would write to it. If you're scared of Vim, you can use Nano. Okay, now, you may have noticed this fun ASCII art that I have on here, a Z shell running. So like over here, it's the same way. So basically every time I open a terminal now, that's going to pop up with that cool art. And some of you may wonder,
well, how did you do that, Knox? How'd you get it to do that cool art every time you open a terminal?
And I'm going to show you what I did. So let me pull this over here. I went to Claude. So I went to Claude and I asked it, I said, I want my Kali ZSH terminal, because that's what we use. We use ZSH, not bash, technically, in Kali now, to start with Knox and ASCII. And I didn't even spell ASCII right. It knew what I wanted. I understand you want to customize it. The other thing that Claude does is it will make artifacts. So let's see here. So here's the artifact. So I told it, now this is version 2 of 2. So the first one it came up with was this. So it's like, look, here you go. You can make this file. So we're going to cat this into file. Basically, all this does is make a file, this Knox ASCII.txt. It says here, do these instructions. Echo this, and this means to add it to the end of this ZSH file. Add this line here, which is to cat. Cat is the Linux command to print out something. Cat ASCII or cat that into the end. That means to append it to the end of this file. And then one more time to get a blank line. And then reload your ZSH configuration, which is the source. Source will reload the file. And I'm like, well, if you see on here, I put,
can you make it cooler?
Because I didn't think it was cool enough. And so then down here, we have enhanced configuration. And that's when it came back with this guy, which didn't look nearly as good here. But I'm glad that I trusted it and at least tried it over in here, because you can see it. I think it looks kind of cool. That was it. I just had to tell it that I wanted to see something cool. Claude was able to help me to do it. So whenever you see things and you're like, I don't know how to do this thing, or I want to make my terminal look cool, just start asking the questions. And if you're like, I don't understand what this line means right here, right? Again, just copy the line and just ask it.
What does this line do?
And it's going to go, oh, well, that's a here doc or an into file is what you'll hear it. And you're going to get way more. You think I'm giving you a rabbit hole right now. It's going to give you way more of a rabbit hole than I am. I'm going to go ahead and throw this in here too, because of just how much of a rabbit hole I want to give you guys. If you are like I am and you don't like reading, I don't like to read all of this. It's too much. We're just going to copy a little bit of it, and actually a very little bit of it here. So I highlighted that. Now I have an extension on here that I love called
Great question. Let's break down that line. The line catiof greater than /knox underscore ASCII.txt is using a shell feature.
Yeah, that is read aloud is the name of this one, and I really like read aloud. And it's just a Firefox Chrome and Firefox extension that you can put on. Then you can have it read to you in the browser, which I love because I don't like to read. I would much rather have it read to me, and I will follow along. You may have noticed in the other videos, I kept typing LL, and when I was typing LL, it was not giving me what I wanted. What I really wanted was LSLAH, like that. But when I was typing LL before, I think it was only giving me like LA, like that. I'm not sure. Whatever it was, I didn't like what it was giving me. I wanted my alias for LL to be different. So I'm going to show you how I fixed that. Here in Kali, we are using ZSH. By the way, hopefully I'll be teaching you as we go along the way here. Echo sends things out to the terminal. $shell is a variable that always exists and tells you which shell you are using. And we are using user bin ZSH. So I'm going to do ls-lah pipe grep, and we're going to grep for .zshrc, and there it is. And that it stands for run commands, ZSH run commands. And what that means is that when you run ZSH, whenever you fire up a terminal, you are going to get whatever is in these run commands. So look, if I source this, which is basically the same as just restarting the terminal, I get my fun ASCII, and all the settings that you want for your terminal are in that file. So be very careful when you're editing that file, because you can really mess yourself yourself up bad. But I'm going to show you how I edited my alias. So you can see I've got Vim, and remember the little tilde on the front stands for home/.zshrc, which is the run commands. Now we're in Vim. Okay, so Vim is the command line editing tool. You can see there's already at the top there like these variables, and if you look down in the corner here, you can see we're at 86% of the document. That means we're 86% of the way down the document. We're on line 199 we're four spaces in. See, so line 199, 4 spaces in, that's what that's telling us right there. We're 86% of the way down the doc. If you type question mark, see it down there in the corner, that means find in Vim. That's how you find things. And we're going to put in alias like that. Oh, that's going to give us way too many things. Let's put in LL and see if what if we put in LL equals? There it is. And so there is what I was looking for right here. Now I just hit enter and that gets me back. I'm going to hit escape and hit colon. Okay, so when you are in, actually I don't even need the colon. I just need to hit I for insert. That's how you type in Vim. You have to hit I for insert. Then I had to go over here and I had to modify this alias and change it to what I wanted, which was ls-lah. And then you hit escape, and then I hit colon, and you would hit W for write and Q for quit, and hit enter, and that would write to it. If you're scared of Vim, you can use Nano. I don't like Nano. Use Nano, it's gonna behave much more like maybe what you're used to. You don't have to press any like I to insert or anything. I can just type, right? But be careful again. Don't mess this file up. And then you see at the bottom when you see that little caret to the left of the letter, that's Control. So Control X is what's gonna get us out of here. Yeah. So we're gonna hit Control X. And it says save the modified buffer. In other words, it's saying, do you want to save any changes? And we're going to hit in for no. And we're done. All right, so that's how I did that. If you want to try to mess with that, just be careful. Don't mess up your ZSH-RC. Your whole terminal will get messed up. So maybe a good precautionary measure then would be to put
copy.zshrc to .zshrc backup.
That's copy. And what I just did is now we have a ZSH-RC and a ZSHRC backup. Now you can mess with it. And if you somehow mess it up, make it terrible and it's not working right, you could always rename this just back to ZSH-RC and you've got a backup in case you mess it up in some way.